Welcome to English Avenue YouTube, the channel to learn English the easy way. Let's start. Meeting someone new. It was a beautiful afternoon, and I decided to take a walk in the park. The sun was shining gently, and a soft breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it the laughter of children playing nearby. The scent of fresh grass and blooming flowers filled the air, creating a perfect atmosphere for relaxation. Birds chirped in the distance, adding a melodic soundtrack to the peaceful scene. It was my favorite time of the day, a moment to breathe, reflect, and enjoy the simplicity of life. I found an empty bench beneath a tall oak tree and sat down, letting the warm rays of the sun touch my skin. With a book in my hands, I intended to spend some time reading, but my eyes wandered, observing the people around me. Families were having picnics, spreading colorful blankets over the grass, sharing sandwiches and laughing together. Couples walked hand in hand, whispering to each other, lost in their own little worlds. Joggers passed by with determined strides, their headphones in, focused on their rhythm. Everything seemed to be moving at its own perfect pace. As I turned the page of my book, I noticed someone approaching. A young man, probably around my age, stopped a few steps away. He had an easygoing smile and a casual yet confident posture. His dark brown hair was slightly tousled by the wind, and there was a friendly energy about him. I looked up and smiled, acknowledging his presence. "Hello, what's your name?" he asked kindly, his voice filled with curiosity. It wasn't often that strangers approached me so directly, but something about him seemed genuine and warm. I smiled back. "My name is Maria. And you?" He nodded and replied, "I'm Luis. Nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too, Luis," I said, feeling at ease with his friendly presence. We started chatting casually. He asked me what I was reading, and I showed him the cover of my book, explaining that I loved literature and often spent my free time lost in stories. He in turn told me about his passion for music. He played the guitar and had even written a few songs. Our conversation flowed effortlessly, as if we had known each other for a long time. We soon discovered that we had many things in common. We both loved the same kind of movies, old classics that had a certain charm and depth that modern films often lacked. We enjoyed hiking and often found peace in being surrounded by nature. He spoke about his recent trip to the mountains, describing the breathtaking views and the fresh, crisp air that made him feel alive. I, too, shared stories of my own adventures, recalling childhood camping trips with my family and the joy of watching the stars on clear nights. I told him about my family, my childhood memories, and my dreams for the future. He shared stories about his siblings, his love for travel, and his plans to learn a new language. He wanted to travel to different countries, to experience different cultures, and connect with people from all walks of life. His enthusiasm was contagious, and I found myself opening up more than I usually would with a stranger. As time passed, the sun began to set, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. The park took on a different charm in the golden light of dusk. The chatter of the people softened, replaced by the sound of rustling leaves and the distant hum of traffic. We both realized how much we had enjoyed the conversation. "This has been really nice," Luis said with a smile. "Would you like to meet again sometime?" I nodded. "Yes, that would be great. Maybe we can meet here again." "Sounds perfect," he said. We exchanged numbers and agreed to meet again in the park the following weekend. As I walked home, I felt happy. Meeting new people can be unexpected, but sometimes, a simple hello can turn into a meaningful connection. I looked forward to seeing Luis again, curious to learn more about him, and excited to continue our newfound friendship. The following week, I found myself thinking about our conversation more than I expected. I wondered if he had been practicing his music, if he had started learning a new language as he had planned. When the weekend arrived, I made sure to get to the park early. I sat on the same bench, watching the world around me, anticipation growing with every passing minute. Soon enough, Luis arrived. He greeted me with the same friendly smile, and we picked up right where we left off. This time, we brought snacks and sat on the grass, talking for hours. He told me about his favorite books, and I shared my favorite songs. We laughed about silly things, made up stories about strangers walking by, and even played a small game of guessing each other's favorite childhood memories. As the weeks went on, our meetings became a tradition. Each time, we learned more about each other. I learned that he had a dog named Bruno, a big golden retriever who loved running in the fields. He learned that I had always wanted to learn how to play the piano, but never had the chance. We talked about our fears and our hopes, about the things that made us happy and the moments that made us sad. One evening, as we sat watching the sunset once again, I realized how lucky I was to have met him. In the simplest of ways, he had become someone special in my life. And to think, it had all started with a simple hello.